Shall we get on with the podcast?
I think so. Hello, and welcome to Confessions from the Back Seat. It's been a couple of weeks since we last had our fabulous interview with Nathen Moore. It seems to have gone down quite well, doesn't it? We've had lots of new listeners. Both of them have been really happy. What are you laughing for?
I'm laughing at one of the reasons why I found the podcast funny.
Why?
Well, a lot of people... Oh, hello, by the way.
Oh, hi.
Normally introduces me and I go...
All right, okay.
This is Carl
Ladies
Royle.
and gentlemen, can I introduce the fabulous, the amazing, the Pratt in the Hat, Carl Royle.
Hello.
Oh Jesus! Is this how it's gonna be today?
I think this. Well, do you know what? It's interesting because we went down a different route with the last podcast, didn't we?
The podcast.
The podcast. What is it called? A podcast when you do something different. I thought it was quite cool, actually. So you made arrangements for us to do an interview with the international superstar.
I'm the man with the contacts, you see. That's what it is.
I saw that. And he had a lot of good things to say about you.
Do you know, I love Nathen. Nathen, if you're listening, love you dearly, pal.
But he had nothing nice to say about me. Do you know what? I thought it was a really fun thing to do, and I think we're going to do a lot of those in the future, aren't we?
Yeah. I think, having a guest on helps. I mean, it gives everybody a break from listening to us.
Yeah, and we filmed it as well. Do you know we did get over 1,000 watches on YouTube as well as the listens on the podcast.
I'm going to ask you something that all the listeners are thinking now. How many of those were you?
I watched it a few times. I like watching myself.
Do you know what's funny now is people might listen to this and go, "No, he's joking," but they can see your face now on camera, and they go, "No."
Well, I think we should give a little bit of background on because it was successful, and I think we did an okay job. We got some really good feedback.
Did we?
Do you know what was interesting? I got messages literally from all over the world, and I'm not just saying it. I mean from
Scotland,
over Europe. No, all over Europe. A lot from France because he's got a big following in France.
Right.
America, lots of people on Twitter, and you can check my feed if you think I'm lying.
No, I don't think you're lying. Why would I think you're lying? I'm not your mum and dad.
I'm telling the truth, honest, I am.
I promise I was there.
People did send me messages, they really did. But they were also when we split it into two, and I had loads. Can't wait till the next one. It's brilliant. Oh, we've never seen him like this before, and so nothing to do with us.
They've never seen him annoyed.
These two really weird blokes in his kitchen who promised to be funny in words.
Mind you, we should have really let him know we were turning up rather than just turning up.
If you drop your kids off, right, we're coming in.
Sitting outside.
Do you
of his
mind?
house.
But. What some of the stuff that people didn't see because I think I pretty much did an uncut version. I don't think I did much editing on it. The actual podcast got a little bit edited, but on YouTube that was pretty much everything. But when you were there, we went in, and he knew you, he'd met you, and I'd never met him before.
No.
And just before we go on, I can't remember if I took this out of the YouTube thing. I stopped before I pressed the play button and I said, "Nathen, you do realise this is a comedy podcast?" And he gave me a look that...
What, a little bit like the one I'm giving you now?
Yeah, and that's what started the old when's it going to get funny line all the way through.
I mean...
But when I went... I've got to be honest with you, when you set it up, Cheesy Pop from the 80s, I love Cheesy Pop, and I thought it was great that we were going to see him. But I thought, where'd infinite
you get
wisdom...
Cheesy Pop from? I've had Tango and Fanta and...
No, cheesy pop music.
Oh, right. I thought you meant like...
Not like cheesies. Because I know you're allergic to cheese.
Oh, yeah. Cheesy Pop. Can you
just refer to previous episodes on cheese?
Yeah, don't.
I do get sent a lot about cheese as well.
Do you?
Yeah, all for you. I don't pass it on. Might upset you. But I thought we probably were going to take the mickey a little bit more than we did. I don't know if you did. I went to do something that was going to be fun, but I thought we were going to take them. And one of the things that I pointed out to you, and you did agree with, I know you don't agree with a lot of what I say, is we just shut up in the end. Because I thought some of the stories were fascinating, all the stuff about Madonna and all that sort of stuff. But what made me laugh is I was trying to be funny, and so when I said to him, so anyway, when you'd had your hit, right? He turned round, he looked at me, and went, "We had 2 hits." The little subtle things and then I mentioned miming, and again he gave me the stare. But what was absolutely brilliant, as soon as we turned off the recording, he just had I think you went to the toilet, he just burst out laughing. He went, and he was playing the game.
Oh yeah,
and what a great bloke. I mean, I've got to say, what an amazing guy.
I've known Nathan for a little bit now, and I've heard some of the stories, and that's why I said it. I think it'd be really good because, I mean, we grew up listening to Madonna and people like that, and having somebody there that's not just interacted but socially, spent time with these people, and I think it's just a different world. That's why I thought, well, we can laugh about it and stuff like that, but just listening to him, it's like, oh my god,
So that was fun, and we've got a bit of news as well, haven't we? You awake?
What, you pregnant?
Not this week.
All right.
No, not pregnant.
No.
We're going to the next step with a podcast, aren't we? Or have I not told you about this?
What you mean, like third base? I'm just got to do it naked or something.
Well, I could go to third base.
That's on camera. You just touch me.
Me too.
But you're not allowed to say me too. You that touch me.
Yeah, but you enjoyed it.
That wasn't enjoyment on my face.
I've got to say, what I was wondering, I didn't know if you thought that was third base, so now I know.
I have no idea what third base is, I'll be honest. What's third base?
So, anyway, we're going live.
We're going, yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
That'll be all right, won't it?
So anyone who's in the Northwest will be able to come and watch us record a podcast.
Yeah.
We've come to an agreement with quite a cool venue. So it's Grosvenor Casino in Didsbury.
Yeah. Fabulous Didsbury.
Yeah, fabulous Didsbury. Basically, you can come and watch us. You can have a meal beforehand, and then come in it, and we're going to record 2 episodes. We're hoping we're going to have a very special guest.
Is it sort of the right thing to do, be feeding them beforehand? So if they're nice and cosy and they're sat there and they're full and we're talking at them, and they're not going to fall asleep.
I think our job is to keep them awake. Will it be a lot more prepared than this one? No, probably not.
Oh, do you know? No, I'd prepare. I'd wake up and I have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
I even had a shave for today. I don't know what you can see.
So that's why I've gone further away from the camera. I've not.
Oh yeah, just so people know, I'm not a giant. If you're watching this, it looks like I'm looking.
You've got a very big head.
Well, I'm not. It's perspective.
Yeah.
You're miles away.
But when you look at the camera, you're not talking into the microphone.
I know. Well, I've kind of got to move. The way you positioned it, I can't do one or the other. So I'm either talking into the mic or I'm looking at the camera. So they're either looking at the back of my head.
Do you know what I think? I think Christian would prefer you to talk into the mic. I got a message yesterday from somebody who runs another podcast.
Right. Are we going to give him a shout out? What podcast is it?
Asking if...
you don't know what podcast it is, do you?
Yeah, it's... It's a guy called Luke.
All right.
Yeah, and he's very complimentary to our podcast.
Oh, thanks, Luke.
But he does stand-up comedy as well.
Does he? Oh, cool.
And he actually asked if he could come and perform at our live our live event. And he was going to travel up from quite a long, I think Cambridge, somewhere like that.
It'd be quite...
And my answer to him was, we need an audience first.
Be alright.
An outlook on life. That's what it was.
Have you just remembered the name of the podcast?
I saw what you did there.
You know what I mean?
Sorry, but it's funny, bit rude. I don't mean he's rude. I mean
what are you on about?
His podcast.
Oh, right. His podcast, right, okay.
His podcast. It's definitely for an adult audience.
Well, I'll be honest, I have actually had a listen to it.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. Since we talked about it, I have had a listen to it.
He has him and two of his mates. And it's a direction we didn't take, because I remember the very first podcast we did, and you made a little announcement. You said, "Well, we might swear, we might do this." When I've listened to a lot of the stuff back, we never swear.
I've just dropped the F-bomb about a second ago,
and I said shit.
You've said it again now.
Oh, do you want to know something funny? So
I think we should save it for after podcast.
So everybody who knows us knows what we do for a living, and we drop it in every now and then that we're both professional magicians.
Yeah.
And there's quite a well-known website that puts every week, on a weekly basis, every week, and it's to do with magic, puts all the news on there. What's happening that week?
You mean Magic Week?
I mean Magic Week, I wasn't going to actually say.
Why?
Because we asked if he'd plug the podcast.
All right. So you don't want to give him any free advertising?
It's a great site. Oh, he joking. He plugs lectures and all sorts. So he's a great guy. And so
you backpedal.
Magic Week, we love you. And but
I've bought many a second-hand piece of shite off there.
Have you?
Of course I have.
Do you know when I said we had no swearing on any of our podcasts? I blame Luke. We mentioned him. We started swearing.
The essence of he's using the force to make us swear.
Well, if you go back 2 podcasts, so if you go back to pre-Nathen, the last.
Is it going to be like?
Pre and post Nathan.
So it's like BC. So BN.
More like BS.
Before Nathan.
Yeah. So before Nathan, the last one we did was about us going to London, and you told a very it wasn't a rude story.
Well, hang on a minute. We told a rude story.
It had a rude punchline.
It did.
It had a very rude punch, but it was relevant and it was true, and we were only conveying what somebody else had said.
Yeah, we take no responsibility whatsoever.
But that was the last one, so that's when I was talking to the guys from Magic Week. So can you plug our podcast?
Why would you want them to listen to that one?
Well, no, I didn't. I hadn't really thought about it. So he goes in and listens to the last one that we recorded, and I got a lovely email back.
Did you? I bet it did.
It just said, "Carl, this is not suitable for our audiences. We have young readers and who will click through. I am sorry, on this occasion I cannot promote your project."
No, you can understand, can't you? I mean,
so is that like when the BBC banned you? And then your record goes to number 1?
Yeah.
So is everyone going to listen to the London episode now? No, probably not.
I don't know. Well, yeah.
So I thought it was quite cool that we got refused. We got refused.
Well, we must
promotion.
be doing something. If they always say if you getting some criticism from somewhere, you're doing something right, because you're not just mainstream. You're not just run of the mill. You're actually pushing the boundaries a little bit. Well, I don't think we're pushing the boundaries a great deal, but.
I don't think we are. And you know what? Another guy who I put some performance video on the internet, and someone came up and made some comments
of the podcast or review.
No, this wasn't me doing some magic.
Right.
I just wanted some feedback from a magic site. And someone who I didn't know came on and mentioned the sound.
Yeah.
So we got into a conversation about sound and how we try and do it properly. And it turns out he's an ex-sound engineer and top high up sound engineer with the BBC.
Oh, right, okay.
So I said, "Oh, do you want to listen to our podcast?" I said, "Because we put a lot of effort into the podcast and making sure the sound's absolutely spot on with that.
Yeah.
And we've got a Christian who's like doing a degree in sound and we try and make it as clear and broadcast quality as possible. So half an hour later, I got a message back saying, I managed to listen to about 10 minutes. He said, but life is too short for listening to two blokes twaddle on about absolutely nothing. When we sat down before, I've got nothing to talk about, and I keep remembering stuff that we've done. Salford City Radio invited me in to do...
Hang on. You. I don't get invited to do these things, can I?
Yeah, but it's round the corner from me, and it would have been a long drive. But, no, you were on the programme. Don't worry, we've got a brand.
What did you take a picture?
No, we've got a brand.
This is Andy. I'm just going to sit in here.
I did. I pretended you were there, and I did both voices.
Did you? What did I sound like?
You sounded like this. Hello, my name's Andy. Hi, I'm Carl. Yeah, I'm Andy. You've got a deeper voice than me.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think so.
You can never tell, because I'm quite aware that you hear yourself differently to what people do. And when I've heard myself back on recordings, I'm like...
You sound like
awful.
You've not drunk anything for a week. You
I haven't.
Try and got that gravelly voice on.
To prepare for this, what I do is I just drag my tongue across my driveway.
Ew. Anyway, Salford City Radio. So a friend of mine, Chris Perry, he does...
Is that you name
show.
dropping? Me and Chris are like this.
Chris,
I'm their thumb.
If you're listening, Chris, which I know you do, it's nice that Andy thinks that was name dropping. So, well, he does the breakfast show.
Does he?
Chris Perry on your cornflakes.
All right, okay.
And, on 94.4 FM.
Other breakfast cereal are available.
Breakfast cereal. Is it? Okay, suppose so. I like that. Anyway, he's got a new show which he calls Spotlight.
Right.
And he just tries to invite people in who do different stuff and
Does he like get moths on and stuff?
And you're taking a few records that you like, and then what I did.
So basically, he's ripped off Desert Island discs. That's what it is.
Do you know how I was Man of the Week? Man of the Week.
It must have been a slow week.
Hey, you can get it on Catch Up.
Can you?
If you go on the website, 94.4 FM, you can get...
I hope we're getting paid for these plugs.
We might, for reasons you know, we might get... That might happen.
For reasons I know. I have no idea what's...
Have you forgot the conversation we had the other day? That was a long pause.
Well, I'm a big dog.
That's what we call you. Big dog.
Yeah. So, when you say conversation, I mean, were you telling me about what you're going to be doing on the radio?
Yeah, but I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the programme we went in because I think it was cool.
But how are we going to get paid for that?
I didn't say we're going to get paid. We'll probably have to pay them.
But hang on a minute. I just said how we're going to get paid for these plugs, and you went, we might do. Is this a conversation we need to have off air?
I meant they're probably going to get mentioned more and more.
Right. Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, instead of taking a load of records in, I took some samples of me and you in.
All right, okay.
And so we had a programme on the radio.
When you say samples, we're not talking DNA, are we? I'm not going to be hauled over at calls for some crime that was committed years ago.
No. I took some clips of the podcast that were broadcastable. And it's community radio, so you have to be really careful. You have to make sure there was no swearing or not rude or anything. And you know what? It came across really well, and apparently they got loads of really good feedback.
Yeah?
Yeah. They have about 3,000 listeners to the programme that he does.
Right.
And they had some really good feedback on what they do. It went down well. Everyone liked the podcast.
Yeah.
And what was good, guess what it was? It was broadcast quality. So we've been broadcast over the airways as well as just doing what we do.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm sorry you weren't there.
You're not really, are you? Look at your face.
So I've given you loads of what's been going on with me. So what's been going on with you?
I watched a video the other day.
God, you have an exciting life. What was the video, Andy?
I'm not going to tell you now.
No, I want to know.
No, I'm not going to
The
tell
listeners
you.
want to know.
They don't.
Yes, they do.
Are you sure?
Please, because otherwise this is going to be really boring.
I watched a video, and it's nothing.
Was it a dirty video?
No, it weren't a dirty video.
I wondered where you were taking this.
I watched a video of about 10 minutes of this guy trying to set light to a Kraft cheese slice. He took the wrapper off it.
You took the silver paper off first?
The cheese slices that you get on...
Yeah, Dairy Lee.
Yeah.
All the cheese slices are available.
Yeah, the square ones.
I thought they were triangular.
No, that's the spreadable one. You know the cheese squares, the
a square of cheese
that you have on a burger.
Oh, yeah.
So you take the individual wrapper
plastic
off it.
cheese.
Yeah. Well,
placky cheese, as we call it.
Excuse me.
Placky cheese.
You can't say that, Carl.
Placky cheese. Why not?
Oh, right.
It's short for plastic.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So there were 10 minutes of a video. What did you just do then?
I just mouthed into the camera. I can't believe he did that.
What? Did what? Never mind. Anyway, so there were 10 minutes of video, and he's got this lighter, and he's trying to burn the cheese, and it wasn't even melting. You know, like you
why not?
Because people are saying that there's actually plastic in it now. It's coated.
Yeah.
To be, Well, if you think about it, when it melts, it doesn't melt and go all over like normal cheese, does it? It just sort of stays and just gets... So they're saying that they've got chemicals in it now.
It's homogenised.
I don't care what sexuality it is.
Oh, there's some writing come on the screen over there. I don't know what that is.
It's probably saying, even cameras had enough.
Yeah, bored. So what was the upset of you? Because I know you get excited about cheese because you can't eat it much.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things.
Can you watch cheese?
Yeah. Just the sight of it doesn't make me ill.
You said you sneak down, so I can imagine that. Do you know what? You know you can't eat it, but I love the image of you sneaking down at night and just putting cheese on the side and just staring at it.
Do you know what?
Stare at my cheese. Too far. Plastic.
But yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day about it, and I said, I can't eat cheese. And she was like, really? Cheese on toast? I'm like, no, I can't eat cheese on toast. She went, what, like Philadelphia? And I'm like, I can't eat cheese. She was like, what, like on a burger? I can't eat cheese in any form. She just couldn't get her head around it. I'm like, any sort of cheese I can't eat.
Yeah, but isn't that like when you speak to a vegetarian, when they go, I'm vegetarian, because they always tell you, so I'm a vegetarian. What? You don't eat chicken? You don't eat fish?
Well, no, I don't, because I understand what vegetarian means, so I don't ask them. They can't eat meat. That's about it.
Yeah, but do you eat fish, though?
I used to get... No, well, you see,
They're a living thing.
I used to get confused between pescatarian and veganism.
Right. How do you know a vegan's a vegan? Because they'll tell you.
Was that a joke?
That's joke of the week.
Is it?
But it's true, isn't it? You always know a vegan's a vegan because they will tell you within 3 minutes of meeting them.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's it's one of those things. I don't struggle, but if we're out and about on the road, when we've been out and we go and call at services, every sandwich has got cheese on pretty much. They just, how can we make this sandwich sexy? I'll stick some cheese on.
What they do, they go, Andy's coming.
Whack the cheese on.
Andy's coming.
Look, his car's going up the M6.
If he's got no other choice, we can watch him have a breakout. Come on.
Have a breakout. Just start breakdancing in the middle of Lidl.
Popping, things popping out on you. Cheese warts. Is that a thing?
No.
Cheese boils.
Cheese boils?
Yeah.
Sounds like Walkers are going to do a new crisp. I've got some cheese boils.
Cheesy boiled flavour.
Oh, cheese boils.
Oh, no, that's horrible. I can't be doing with that.
Oh, I don't know. Right. Talking of stuff that you just shouldn't see, obviously Christmas is coming around the corner, and I've been looking at presents and stuff, and you've inspired me. We talked about games, so I went and had a look in shops for games for Oliver and for us all to play. And there's a game, and I've seen it a couple of times, so you know, the first time you see it and you think...
Is it going to be the dog turd one?
Well, that one, and there's a toilet.
Oh, yeah.
And you've got to clear the shit out of it.
Yeah, but the kids love it, it's poo.
How's that a game?
It's a poo thing.
I've got my own at home.
Get to clean the toilet. It's training the kids.
If I said to Oliver, whack your hand round that kid, he'd go, what?
Yeah, but what you've got to do is get some cards, and you've got to win the right to clean the loo.
Have I got to start eating different food colourings to make the poos different so we all know which one's going to be which?
Oh, no. Just give him loads of beetroot. I think he's dying when he goes to the toilet.
Done. Whenever I eat beetroot, I have to say to Claire, remind me tomorrow.
Do you want to know... The funniest thing I ever heard was little practical jokes you can do if you ever have a party or something like that. And you know the little tomato sauce sachets? What you put a couple of pinpricks in them, right, and put them under the toilet seat. It's put it under the toilet seat in your house. So when someone goes to the toilet and they sit down, it squirts all the tomato sauce into the bowl. And when they get up and look behind them, they're going to the doctors the next day, aren't they?
You think making somebody believe that they're dying from arse cancer is funny? You sink.
All I'm thinking is, if they tasted it...
What? You taste stuff out of the toilet?
If they tasted it... Didn't know it was tomato sauce.
I have never ever gone, oh my god, I think I might be dying of arse cancer. But hang on a minute. Call why I ordered. What are you doing?
I don't know where that came from. Oh.
You're a sick individual.
Anyway, as people who are watching will notice, I'm just checking the time. I think
we're going to leave it on that one.
I think we'll leave it there. We'll leave it on a laugh because that was.
Well, if you're ever invited round to Carl's, just feel free to start licking stuff out the toilet. You never know what it could be.
Oh, that was a bit. That was wrong, wasn't it?
That was wrong on many levels.
I apologise.
I'm not offended easily, but that. Carl!
You didn't see that coming, did you?
I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Neither did our guests.
We've got guests. What are they?
On that note, are you gonna do the outro?
Okie dokie. Well, thanks ever so much for listening again. I've been Andrew Dean.
I've been Carl Royle.
This has been Confessions from the Back Seat. Please find us on all the social media. You can get in touch with the email address, which you'll follow. And it's now on YouTube, so you can watch all the mayhem and face pulling that we do. So we'll look forward to see you next time. Thanks ever so much, and speak to you all soon.
Thanks very much.